Hey, this is Flo from FlowProDev, and today we're going to explore 6 ways to connect to your Amazon EC2 instances. There are 3 main ways to connect to your EC2 instances. The classic method, which uses SSH for Linux and RDP for Windows, AWS Instance Connect, and Session Manager. Each method has its unique advantages and limitations. The classic way requires us to declare inbound ports and also needs a public IP. In this diagram, we can see how AWS Instance Connect works. It uses SSH as the primary connection protocol, with the new Instance Connect endpoint eliminating the need for a public IP. Let's move on to the practical demonstrations. First, we'll create an EC2 instance. Go to the AWS console, navigate to the EC2 dashboard and click on Launch Instance. You can select your preferred OS here. For this tutorial, we'll choose Amazon Linux. When asked, choose an existing key pair or create a new one, then download it for later use. Finally, hit Launch Instance. Now, let's connect to this instance. Go back to your EC2 dashboard, find your instance, and then click Connect. In the connection methods, you'll see SSH client. Click on it and you'll see several commands. Open your PowerShell, navigate to where you downloaded your key pair, and run the commands from the SSH client tab. This process authenticates you and connects you to your EC2 machine. Another method to connect is using Instance Connect. In the Connect tab, select Instance Connect and hit Connect. A new console window will open with the EC2 machine's console, granting immediate access. But what if you don't want your subnet to be public? Let's go to the VPC dashboard, select Subnets, and go to our ACL. Remove the inbound rule allowing traffic. Alternatively, untick Auto-Assign IPv4 and save. This action makes our subnet private. Once the subnet is private, if you try to connect through Instance Connect again, you'll find that the connection fails. That's because Instance Connect requires a public IP, which we no longer have. But don't worry, we can get around this by creating an Instance Connect endpoint. In the Instance Connect tab, choose Connect using Instance Connect Endpoint and click Create Endpoint. For the service category, choose Instance Connect Endpoint again. Choose your VPC and subnet, then click Create Endpoint. After a few minutes, the endpoint status should change to available. Now, go back to your EC2 instance and try connecting again using Instance Connect. You'll see that despite our subnet being private, we can still connect successfully. You can also connect through the Instance Connect endpoint using PowerShell. Here's the command. It's essential to be aware of certain quotas and caveats when using Instance Connect endpoint. You can have up to 5 Instance Connect endpoints per AWS account, 1 per VPC and 1 per subnet. As for the caveats, it's worth noting that IPv6 addresses aren't supported. You also need to enable client IP preservation if you want to access the endpoint from another VPC. And remember, routing traffic through the AWS Transit Gateway isn't supported with client IP preservation, and you'll incur transfer costs when your subnet is in a different availability zone. For the next part of the demo, we'll make our subnet public again. Go back to Subnets in the VPC dashboard. Choose our subnet, select the ACL, and re-add an inbound rule. Now, let's look at Session Manager, another popular method for connecting to EC2 instances. It doesn't require declaring any inbound port rules, but it does require the SSM agent to be installed on your instances. Also, we need to have a security group with the Amazon SSM managed EC2 instance default policy. That was a lot. To connect using Session Manager, go to your instance in the EC2 dashboard, click Connect, select Session Manager and hit Connect. A new browser window will open, giving you access to your EC2 instance. Session Manager also allows us to connect to private subnets. For this, we need to create 3 different interface endpoints, namely for SSM, SSM messages, and EC2 messages. Go back to the VPC dashboard, click Create Endpoint, choose com.amazonaws.region.ssm as the service name. Pick your VPC and subnet and hit Create Endpoint. Repeat this process for SSM messages and EC2 messages. Now, if you try connecting to your instance using Session Manager, even if the subnet is private, the connection will succeed. Let's wrap up with the comparison between Instance Connect and Session Manager. Both methods have their pros and cons, but they both offer secure and flexible ways to connect to your EC2 instances. Depending on your specific needs, one may be a better fit for your operations. For instance, Session Manager works for both Windows and Linux, while Instance Connect is Linux only. Also, both the SSM agent as well as the Instance Connect client-side code are available on many AMIs that Amazon offers, like Amazon Linux or newer Ubuntu versions. If you're using your own AMIs, I highly recommend baking either of those in. In terms of overall functionality, Session Manager can do a whole lot more than just connect to your instances. It can manage patches, install software, and update everything, whereas Instance Connect is mainly used for connection. But remember, security and manageability should always be priorities when configuring your access methods. This has been Flo from FloProDev. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to stay updated on new AWS features.